Hello, welcome to another hard surface practice session. In this one we're going to start from a cylinder, so just putting that in place and scaling it on the x-axis. I'm just going to bevel the ends. I think this time I'm going to try and make something like a sort of like a Bluetooth speaker, so that's the kind of look I'm going for. It's very abstract, no specific plan in mind. Put a loop cut through the middle and snap a cube in. It's going to go into rendered mode so we can see the bevel shader. And I'll put this at a 45-degree angle and have it just sort of slice through the front just to give a change of angle there. Scale it in the local y-axis and then just going to move it forward slightly. And I'm going to mirror the peel of the Bluetooth speaker on the z-axis once I apply the transforms, that is. Okay, going to snap in another cube now and use that to make a panel line around that front section. So just going to scale that up and use a slice brush boolean just to put a panel line around that and separate that front section. To make it fit that front part a little bit closer. Apply all to both sections, and I think we'll recolour that middle bit yellow. Snapping in a cylinder now, just going to make a small hole in the front. And I'm changing it to the same colour as the colour of the piece that I'm cutting it out from. Snapping in a cube now. And I'm just going to use this to make a sort of double panel line on the top. So it's going to be, I'm going to duplicate it and cut it out of both the grey and the yellow parts. Using a slice boolean. Just beveling the edges of the cube, duplicate it and change one to yellow to remove from the front part, and the other one keeping as grey to remove from the back part. Apply all the booleans, and I'm just going to shrink those in their respective holes just to give a bit of more definition around that area. Whenever you find yourself stuck on what to do, try doing something radical like drastically altering the form of the whole object. So here I've beveled the end of a cylinder and I'm going to use that to cut away an end part of the speaker. And then I'm going to duplicate that and scale it up slightly, and using a slice I'm going to use that to have a panel line around the cutaway section. Just applying all the booleans and mirroring across. Snapping in another cube now, I'm just going to make a cutout in the back for some sort of handle. I'm just going to bevel out the parts that are going to cut in just so it's a bit more rounded. Scale that up on the X to make it a bit wider. Just going to snap in a cylinder. Scale that up on the X-axis. and just scaling it down, excluding the x-axis. I want this to be slightly bigger than the width of the opening, because I'm going to then duplicate it and use one to take it away, and then scale down the one that sits inside it so it looks slightly together. Add a loop cut in the middle, and we're going to use this to basically cut away this section. Cap off the ends here. Just going to switch back to shaded mode quickly. I'm try and work out what parts of this I want to extrude upwards. Add in a few loop cuts here just to separate the handle from the rest of it. I don't want it going right to the edge. Going to mirror this across, add a loop cut and set it to even. Just going to delete these faces and then merge them in the center with the mirror modifier. That can then be applied, and then these parts I'm going to just give them a very small bevel, chamfer, sorry, and then inset them just to give a bit more detail. In rendered mode, I'm going to add another cube in to make a panel line. Where those end parts are separate, it's not going to cut through them. So I'm just going to use a slice and then move that just so it's about level with the middle, and then move it back slightly just so it's not intersecting that yellow part. Okay, it's not looking bad so far. And then I'm just going to add a few holes in it just to potentially be the area where the sound would come out if it was a speaker of some sort. Just going to use an array modifier. I have 5 of these with 4 stacked on top, and just offset them slightly. Move them on the x-axis and down a little bit, and just delete the last one. Center the pivot and snap them back to the middle. Now I'm going to make them the yellow colour and cut them away. Thank you for watching, take care.